Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
Be patient, my sister. Be patient, be patient. We all want it to happen now, right? Yesterday. You know, it was interesting. When I was in practice as a chiropractor, and so I was in practice from, we opened our office in 2002, and we closed our doors in 2016. So 14 years in practice. And what was interesting is when people came in to see me, or if they commented on people and their health and that kind of thing, it was this, well, everybody wants a quick fix, right? And although I had actually been involved in chiropractic since the early 90s, my brother was a chiropractor, worked in his office for, I think it was 4 or 5 years before I went to chiropractic college. Worked in other people's offices as I was applying for chiropractic college, when I was in chiropractic college. Worked in my friend's office for a year after graduation as I was waiting for my husband Ed to finish because I started school before him. And what I found in that time from early 90s to 2016 was that even back in the early 90s, it was the tides were starting to shift. People actually didn't want a quick fix for the most part. And they tried the quick fix, and the quick fix didn't get them shit. It did not resolve what was happening. It didn't address cause. It didn't create any kind of long-lasting changes or results. And so when people would say that of well, they just want the quick fix, it was like, you know what? I literally would have people come in and say, I don't want a quick fix. I tried that. It doesn't work. I understand this is going to take time. I understand it's taken time for my body to fall apart and what has happened in my body. I also understand it's going to take time for it to heal. And that was really the majority of people once it got down to it, once they really understood, if they didn't have that philosophy coming in, which a lot of them didn't, but once, we had the conversation enough about it, because we were constantly educating every single visit. There was always a way to connect with somebody. Always. And not because I pulled out a textbook or I pointed at a chart on the wall. It was sometimes just the conversation, the connection of seeing something in another story. Kind of like what I do now with this podcast. What do you know? That was really early training of well, I can have a conversation with health about anything. And they could talk to me about their boss and how they're not really listening and stuff. And I said, well, what do you think happens if we just stop listening to our body? If we think that we're the ones who know all the answers and our bodies don't know shit. And so we put things in it, or we take pieces out of it. We think that we know better than this body that was designed to give us life. What do you think happens if we ignore those messages over time? People know. So be patient. Be patient. I take a look today. I dropped off my eldest son, Tyson, at a Montessori school. Montessori, if you're not familiar with it, just Google it. Let's just say it's a way of teaching children, and this is not to discount traditional public school in North America, but if your kid doesn't fit in the box of how it's taught, there isn't, even if there's, special teachers, and even if there's a little bit extra help and teachers' assistants, there just really isn't a place for kids that don't fit in the box. And quite honestly, that is for sure my oldest son, maybe even my youngest who just started kindergarten. Kai's just 5, but for sure it's my oldest son. And, I'd say from a year and a half, when he was mama's boy for the first year and a half of his life, oh, my sweet Tyson Jack, still my sweet Tyson Jack. But I remember when that changed, and suddenly a year and a half, he wanted nothing to do with me. I was the enemy. I hate you, Mommy came up maybe a couple of years later, and both of us have very similar personalities, and we would clash a lot. It's interesting, when someone's really forceful towards you, that if you go force against them, all you end up doing is just butting heads. You know that, right? If you've ever interacted with someone, maybe it could be your kids or your husband or people you work with or family or whatever, but and I remember from when this kind of started and starting to read books and going, I just need to understand my son better, and let me listen better, and let me talk to other people, and let me try different things. And today, Tyson, who is actually almost 8, he turns 8 in about a month, and today he had the first of 2 days of, this is kind of part of the application process of this Montessori Academy. It's a very, very small school. It goes from kindergarten all the way up to grade 12. 12th grade for all y'all Americans. 12th grade, grade 12 here in Canada. And 250 kids in the entire school. Isn't that like crazy, right? And so, yes, today and tomorrow will be really kind of like for them to see if Tyson's a fit. And as I said to Tyson, I'm like, you get to see if it's something that will work for you, Tyson. And to watch him since kindergarten say, I hate school. And to think that it's natural and normal when the principal, when I got a tour of this school 2 days ago, said, or 3 days ago, said, children innately want to learn. And I'm like, you know what? You were right. It's not normal for a child to say, I hate school. But I started to listen to what he was really telling me, which is, Mommy, I'm struggling in school. Mommy, I don't learn the way they do. Mommy, I don't want to learn what we're learning. Like, it doesn't interest me. Because I watched this kid go deep in Minecraft, man. He's a smart, smart child. And I know he's my son, and of course we're all going to say that about our kids, right? But Tyson's a smart kid. He really, really is. He has this wisdom about him and this sense of wit, and like, man, he's just sharp at almost 8. And as he said to me this the other day after I had the tour, and I thought, well, I don't know if Tyson's going to want to change schools. He's kind of just settled in. We moved here when he was in grade 1, so this is now his 3rd year, and he knows the teachers, and he knows the kids, and he's got lots of good friends here, and all this kind of stuff. And is it going to even be open? Is it the wrong thing to move him out of the school into a new one? Like all these things that I've, gone through as his mom. And when I said to Tyson, when I picked him up after that tour, he didn't know I was going, by the way. Went for the tour, I was just like, oh man, this is the school for my son. I just know it. There's one spot that's open up, and they go, there's never like a spot. Lower elementary, which is grades 1, 2, 3, they group the kids together in the same room. Grades 1, 2, 3, they go, we almost never have spots. Like it's literally like the kids have to start at like kindergarten, or you have to wait until they hit grade 4, and then they're what's called upper elementary, and then you can get them in. Because a lot of times the parents, when they start the kids early on in preschool, kindergarten, they keep them all the way through. So they only have limited spots. There's, and they go, we have one spot. And it's so weird to open up. And I'm thinking, because that's for my son. And today, I can get super emotional about this. Because, again, it's of a child every single day, pretty much if I hate school, I hate school, I hate school. Be totally fine, and then 5-10 minutes before, even though we have lots of prep time and lots of, hey Tyson, we got 30 minutes, okay Mommy, okay, then we got to get dressed, okay, we got it, get things prepared and organized, and suddenly that 10-minute mark hits before school, and he will have a meltdown, not every day, but a lot of days. And I hate school, and he even, he got 10 out of 10 on a spelling test. I'm like, good job, buddy. He's like, yeah, but I didn't get 15 out of 15. A lot of the kids did the bonus questions. I didn't do that. Mommy, I couldn't do those ones. Feeling lesser than. And as I watch some of his confidence and self-esteem start to diminish and change, and the I hate school, and although we can do the whole thing of like, buddy, just get through high school. After that, whatever you want to do, dude. But what am I telling him? Like, feel like shit for the next 9 years of your life? What? That's wrong. That's not right. That does not sit right for me as a parent at all. Just suck it up for the next 9 years. Are you kidding me? Those years when they were forming their independence and their self-esteem and their sense of worth and value, like, no. And so when I said to Tyson, I go, how was school today after I picked him up after I had the tour, and I pick him up at his regular school, and he goes, that's good, Mommy. And I'm like, oh, that's good, bud. I go, Tyson, do you enjoy school? He goes, no, Mommy. And I go, oh. I go, well, how come? He goes, well, because I want to learn the things that I want to learn, Mom. And they learn a lot of things that I really don't want to learn. I'm like, okay. I go, well, how about, buddy, if there was a school that you could go to, that you would have more control over what you learn, which is what Montessori is often, it is that. They have choices of things, but they have a lot more choice of what they get to learn and how they learn it and at what pace and all this. I go, would you like that? And he's like, oh yeah, Mommy, that would be amazing. I said, okay, buddy, because I got something for you. And so as I watched him put on his little button down, it's uniforms to school, right? So because this is still part of the application process, of course, we don't have a uniform for him yet. And even though I'm going like, my son's at this school, I just see it, And so we had to they're like, okay, you got to wear a long sleeve shirt, can't have anything on it, like no names or pictures. I'm like, I don't know about you, but most of the kids' clothes we get like at the Gap or Old Navy or something, I'm like, they all have something on them. And he can't wear jeans. I'm like, well, that's all of his pants, right? So I went out and got like little chinos and a button-down shirt, and he got, Daddy helped him get dressed and fix his hair, and the kid doesn't give a shit about his hair. Like, it's just a mess. He doesn't care. And he put on his backpack. He's like, okay, bye, Daddy. I love you. Bye, Kai. I love you. He's walking the door. He's carrying his bag out. He never carries his bag to the car. Like, he was excited and lit up and just smiles when we got there. Be patient. These years, from 1.5 years to 7.5, almost 8, of me going like, man, he's such a great kid. And I'm not saying everything's been like terrible or doom and gloom, but there's definitely been some really tricky times, tricky things with behavior, with choices he's made. And I know a lot of this, again, your children, right? Where I'm like, well, we can take a look at the behaviors. We can go, Tyson, you're hitting, or you bullied your brother, or you're a little bit too rough with your brother. You're hurting him sometimes. You're not kind with your words. You're not, this is all to get attention, which is like, I don't feel like I fit. That's what I've really seen. And as my therapist has said, it's just like, listen, we talked about Tyson. He's like, all kids want to belong, Karen. I'm thankful to my therapist, Daniel, because he's the one that really urged this. He's like, why wouldn't you have him in a school where he's going to be accepted for who he is? And so as I dropped him off, and everybody was so lovely and welcoming, and Tyson's really excited, and we got him situated in the class, and they're going to give me some reports throughout the day. They're like, we'll send you some emails. I'm like, that would be beautiful. And then I get in a car and I'm driving my youngest son to, the regular school, if you will, which is where Tyson's still enrolled at, because we don't know for sure if he's in, but I think he is. And then it hit me. I'm like, oh my God, it took this long, but like patience and persistence, and like, we will get there, and I will find an answer. And like, I just need to stop trying to shove my kid into a fucking box that he doesn't fit into. And to see just the change in him in that little short period of time of like, hey, you might be able to get to go to this school. Be patient, sister. It's coming for you. I promise you it's coming for you. And it's a good reminder for me right now with my business and this movement, Women Wanting More, and just like, I'm writing this book and it's coming together, and then it doesn't come together, and then I'm like, I'm trying to create deadlines, but I have children and situations that have come up, and that's where the party needs to be. And I'm not going to drop my workouts, and, I need to take care of my health and all of that as well too. And, and I've been saying that to my husband, and I'm like, I love seeing my husband like go to speak and create all this business with, and people that are excited and they really, honor him and see the value of what he offers to the world with what he does. And I'm like, you belong into this place where you do, and where do I belong? I'm not a stay-at-home mom. I'm not a full-time working mom. I thought I belonged in coaching. I don't really, it's just moving into something different. I'm just like, I'm in this place where I feel like I don't belong anywhere. And it's reminded me, and it's just like, honey, just trust it. It's my husband who never talks about God or universe really, but, having that conversation more and more, and I think it's kind of wearing off him a little bit. He's like, just trust that God has a plan for you, sweetheart. Be patient. And again, it's hard because I know we all want it. Just tell me what it is. What is it? What is it? What is it? Like, it is okay. Be patient. Not everything that comes fast in life is good. And I'll actually have you consider that most things that are great take a period of time to grow and to develop and to manifest and to create. They don't happen overnight. They don't. I don't know if you know the story of the movie Rocky. Sylvester Stallone, who wrote Rocky in something like 48 or 72 hours. He wrote the screenplay for it. And then he, figuratively knocked on doors trying to sell this movie. And something told him inside that he needs to play the lead of Rocky Balboa in the Rocky movie. If you haven't seen the movie Rocky, oh my God, because I know some of you are like way younger than me, but holy shit, go see the movie Rocky. So he just knew that he had to play Rocky, and they laughed at him. And they said, what? Speech impediment, kind of weird looking guy. Like, no, you're not doing this. Finally, he found a studio that would say yes. And they said, we're not really pay you a lot of money. He goes, well, that's okay. I'll take like a percentage off the back end, meaning that, based on the gross sales of the movie, he would get a percentage of that. And that was in a time where it wasn't really done. And they're like, okay. Well, after how many Rocky movies it ended up being, and then from there, I don't know what was the next movie for him, First Blood, and, all the movies that Stallone was in, like Rambo, and like, all because he was patient. And he listened to his heart, and he followed it. And he did not sell out. He did not, try to force it through quickly. Like, he was patient, knowing that this was the path. So here's your more tip for today then, sister. Where do you need more patience in your life right now? Maybe it's with your marriage, and you're really trying to heal things right now. Or you're trying to create something that's never really been there, or, it hasn't been there for a long period of time. Maybe there's a challenge with your kids as well, too. And you're thinking that this one thing will somehow fix it, or this one thing will be the answer, this one thing. Maybe you've been trying to create a body that is just not coming together, or weight loss, or fitness. I don't know what that is, but I want you to pick what that is. And I know that often when I throw these things out, there's going to be something that comes, to mind like instantly, and you'll go, that thing. And then you'll want to avoid it. Don't do that. It's the one that's right in front of you. It's the elephant in the room. So what is that thing that you're wanting to have happened yesterday? And I want you to open up your journal, and I want you to write down this. I need to be more patient with, and then blank, whatever the thing is, because, and start writing. See, when we can see the words in front of us, it is real. When we have them spin around in our head like a hamster wheel, it's not the same. You need to write this out. There's clarity that comes when you can actually see words on a page. Things will come together, even if you've never journaled before, I promise you, by doing this. Okay, sister. And actually, I was going to put this out soon, but I'm going to talk to you right now on the podcast. A year ago, I decided I was going to give out journals for free. They are limited edition Women Wanting More journals. I have about 3 boxes that are still, I haven't talked about it for a while, because I ended up mailing out, I think, close to 500. All, like, personally, myself, by the way. Package up, labeled, take to the post office, fill out the customs forms for those that are outside of Canada, which is most of them. And actually, even though the journals are free, you pay a little bit of shipping. It's $9.95 US. It still ends up costing me about $7-8 per journal. Because there's a cost of the journal, there's a cost of the packaging, and there's a cost of the other swag I put inside of it, and then the mailing of it, and like all of that. And it's a lot more people. Some people are kind of miffed, like, oh, it's not free, it's $9.95. I'm like, I get it. It's free, but the shipping you pay for. So it's $9.95. And yes, you can get any journal for less than that somewhere if you want. Some shitty journal, but these are beautiful orange journals that are limited edition. You won't find anywhere else. So if you would want to journal, one of the last ones, I'm going to count them up in the next couple weeks and basically like count down, like there's this many and then it's done. So head over to drkarenosborn.com/free journal. Oh God, what is it now? I'm going to put the link. It's either drkarenosborn.com/journal or drkarenosborn.com/free journal. If not, just hit me up through the website or on the Facebook page and say, hey, Karen, you messed that up. What is the link? And the correct one will definitely be in the show notes. Okay. In addition, make sure to subscribe to the newsletter. You're going to hear about the book when it comes out in the next few months. You're going to get everything of my training videos that are out there that I give as free gifts, and the More For Action Guide, which is really how to start your day in a place of power. So that's over at drkarenosborn.com/action guide. So I will talk the next episode, sister. A life of more is just one step away from you being patient every single day. I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosborn.com/newsletter.